Welcome to Movie Lover News. I'm your host, Tyrone Rubin, doing the show with Alex, bringing you the #1 movie news show on Earth. We've had a little bit of a break, a 1-month break from Movie Lover News. It'll never happen again. We're back. The show's going to be revamped, it's going to be much better, and we're going to constantly bring you the greatest movie news on Earth. There's a film coming out called The Iceman, which looks really interesting. Michael Shannon, Benicio Del Toro, and James Franco have joined the cast. Michael Shannon will play Richard Kuklinski, James Franco will play Mr. Softy, and Benicio Del Toro will play Roy DeMeo. Ariel Vromen is directing from a screenplay he co-wrote with Morgan Land, based on the book The Iceman, the true story of a cold-blooded killer by Anthony Bruno. And the film will be based on interview footage from the documentary The Iceman Tapes, Conversations with a Killer. This story is mesmerizing. The Iceman is the electrifying true story of Richard Kuklinski, who's being played by Michael Shannon, a notorious mob contract killer and loving family man. He earned his nickname by freezing the bodies of his victims, disguising the time of death, and throwing police off track. He was a man who used his tendencies towards violence and attachment from consequence to create an idyllic family life. His families and neighbors believed he was an average businessman, having no idea about his deadly alternate life. Kuklinski killed over 100 people during his life. He never felt remorse for anything he had ever done except hurting his family. Del Toro co-stars as Kuklinski's employer, the notorious mobster Roy DeMeo, and Franco plays his mentor assassin known as Mr. Softy. Executive producer Avi Lerner said that this film is going to be fantastic. The story is riveting, the cast perfect, and all being directed by the talents of Ariel Vromen. Ariel Vromen, the director of the film, says that he's honored to work with such a talented cast on such a compelling story. Since the early stages of development, he said that he's had a dream cast of having Michael Shannon play Richard Kuklinski, as he believes there's no one else better suited to that part. Richard Kuklinski is a remarkable, vivid, eminently watchable character, as was evident from the real-life footage of him. As I said, there was the documentary, the Iceman interviews, which just had Richard Kuklinski talking about all the murders that he had committed, and it was the most eerie documentary that I've ever seen, because it just had him talking without any remorse. Richard Kuklinski has claimed to have killed over 250 men during his career that lasted from 1948 to 1986. He claimed to have killed his first victim at the age of 13. He was the oldest brother of convicted child rapist and murderer Joseph Kuklinski. He spent the last years of his freedom living with his wife and children in New Jersey. In 1948, Kuklinski, who was 13, ambushed and beat Charlie Lane, the leader of a small gang of teenagers who had bullied him for some time. Following a particularly bad beating, Richard sought revenge, attacking Charlie Lane with a thick wooden dowel, eventually beating him to death. Although he denied he wanted to kill Lane, the bully did not wake up. Kuklinski then dumped Lane's body off a bridge in South Jersey after removing his teeth and chopping off his fingertips with a hatchet in an effort to prevent identification of the body. He then went on to beat and nearly murder the remaining 6 boys in Lane's gang. Richard later joked that giving is better than receiving. That murder I described was at the age of 13, and as I said, he has claimed, Richard Kuklinski, to have murdered over 250 people in his life. This is another film that's a 10 out of 10 on my excitement meter. I think it's got everything going for it, a rich story, a great cast. Michael Shannon, James Franco, Benicio Del Toro. It's based on the book The Iceman, the true stories of a cold-blooded killer by Anthony Bruno, plus the documentary that was released, The Iceman interviews. This could be one of those dark, eerie, true life story films. A type of Silence of the Lambs. Thanks for watching Movie Lover News. I'm your host, Tyrone Rubin. Thank you.